Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. I tried to upload this video twice and I went over the 11 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep it short here. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of a thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." Jesus opens the first seal, and John hears this noise of thunder, and it's one of the four beasts saying to John, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat up him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. A lot of people say that this is the Antichrist. Well, if this rider is someone in particular, such as the Antichrist, who is the rider on the second horse? And who is the rider on the third horse? And who is the rider on the fourth horse? Nobody will tell you that because, of course, it doesn't make sense. I don't think this are particularly people. It's just that these are four stages that have happened already, and what I believe to be the beginning of sorrows, which Jesus Christ talked to his disciples about in Matthew chapter 24. So let's continue. I believe this is also just peace and the failed peace attempts that have happened in the last 100 years or so. When he had opened the second seal, oops, moved down here. I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So obviously this time there's war. Who would this be? If the Antichrist was the first rider, who would be this? Who would this person be? Would it be the false prophet? No, see, it doesn't add up. So there's false attempts at peace. They don't work. Then you have this second horse that's given power to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Verse 5, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say to John, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I think this is speaking of poverty and sicknesses that have happened in the last century or so. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." I think this is what happened in the last century. And the reason why the voice from the midst of the four beasts said this, "Thou hurt not the oil and the wine," is because the oil and the wine is the Christian church. The wine would be us, and the oil is the Holy Spirit that lives within us. I'll explain that a little bit more in a little bit. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. That's very interesting, because not only is there death, but hell followed, and many people that have died in the last century or so have gone to hell. Not everybody, but many have. And power was given unto them, unto the four horsemen, power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So all together they affected about a fourth of the earth. Okay. Now I did write a book, and you can go read it in my website, revelationofthechrist.com. You can download the PDF book for free. This is on page 47, and I talk about the seals that were opened, the first 4 seals, and how I compare that to the beginning of sorrows when Jesus Christ talked about this in Matthew 24. And you can see that I'm going kind of fast through it. But Jesus talked about this in Matthew 24. And the reason why I referred you to my book, to anyone who's watching, is because I explain it more thoroughly there. Because obviously I'm going over the minutes here with my video. But Matthew 24:41, and Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, "See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left there one stone upon another that should not be thrown down." The temple was to be taken down, and it did happen about 70 AD. Verse 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be?" What things? The temple being destroyed. "And what should be the sign of thy coming?" Because this is referring back to the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 13, when Daniel said, and I saw in the night visions one like the Son of Man coming in the clouds, and Jesus had told them about him returning in the clouds. He's there with them, but they want to know when he's coming back in the clouds to rule and reign upon the earth. The sign of thy coming and the end of the world. This is literally at the end of the millennial reign of Christ. This is judgment day at that point. Okay, so those are the three questions that they asked Jesus Christ. When will the temple be destroyed? What will be the sign of your coming, Jesus, to rule and reign upon this earth? And third, the end of the world, judgment day. Okay, and then of course after that was eternity. Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, or I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And I think here Jesus specifically talking to us about the last day events. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See, we are not to be troubled, but yet we're going to live in those times, and we've lived in many wars. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We've seen it happen. World War I, World War II, and many other wars. There should be famines, many famines, and I explain it in more detail in my book. And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we see that this is happening even right now. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And I believe that's what the four horsemen are. They're the beginning of sorrows. That the tribulation has not begun yet. These are just events that have been happening. But it's not the judgment of God, as we'll see later on here. But this is not the judgment of God. These are events that have been happening. Then verse 9 says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. And on the New King James Version, it says, then they will deliver you up to tribulation and cure you. And I believe this is talking about the 7-year Great Tribulation. So after those events have happened, that are the beginning of sorrows, of the four horsemen, will be raptured, then they will deliver you up to tribulation, speaking of those saints or those people that will become Christians in the Great Tribulation, and will kill you. And they will be killed, as we read in Revelation. Chapter 20, when we see that the souls that were beheaded for the testimony of Jesus Christ came back to life. So you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. So I think that the beginning of sorrows, this is page 49 of my book, are really talking about the beginning of sorrows are both what Jesus Christ talked about in Matthew 24, events that have happened already, and so are the four horsemen. They're one and the same thing. Wars and rumors of wars that Jesus spoke of in Matthew are the second horse. Nation against nation, second horse. Kingdom against kingdom, second horse. Famines, third horse. Pestilences, fourth horse. And all this result in death, which is the fourth horse. And I go into more detail in my book. So if you want to read it, please do. And God bless you.